right, yo, what's going on? What's up, Tad? I see you, Carlo. Hope y'all are having a good one. Let's go ahead and turn this down. Let me know in the chats if the music is too loud. I'm gonna go ahead and actually turn it up a little bit, and then I'm gonna adjust here. All right. So if that is too loud, please let me know. If not, I'm going to go ahead and continue. So we have some news this week that I kind of wish I would have anticipated a little bit better last week. So, first and foremost, what's going on, everybody? Petty Pips in the house, Next Wave Analysts. And, this week we're focusing on pretty much one thing, and that's CPI for the dollar. So we should all be able to see my screen just to make sure. We're over here, and we're on investing.com, and we have not tomorrow, not Monday, but Tuesday, I believe, is when we have CPI, which is inflation, right? And it's gonna be really important because here's why. The Fed's job is to make sure unemployment and inflation are in check. Inflation is out of control. So what happened last month, though? Last month, inflation declined a little bit. Now let's go into these numbers real quick. And it was expected to decline a little bit, and it did right here. So boom, we have a little decline. They're expecting another decline. If this happens, the Fed and the market might look at that as extremely bullish. They might look at that as the Fed is doing their job in a way, if that makes sense, right? So we have to watch for this number, even though the Fed is still expected to cut 0.75 basis points. If inflation starts to turn around before they didn't cut anything last month. So if inflation continues to turn around without them even having to cut last month, that's actually good for like the stock market. So we're going to have to watch for that. We're going to have to see what happens with this number. It's not like we're going to predict anything, but if it does come out less than last month. So last month was 8.5. If it comes out less than that, which they are expecting 8.1. So if it comes out 8.1, that's good for the stock market. Maybe that's what the stock market is pricing in right now. But regardless, I think personally, whenever it gets to that time on September 21st when they raise rates, I think the stock market's still going to drop, but they might be pricing in this good news. All right, it's enough of the fundamentals. Let's get into the charts, and we're starting off with the dollar as usual. And what I have over here is I got yearly profiles. I got yearly profiles. So this price right here is very important for this year. Most important price of the year, basically. And I have it marked down on lower time frames. But check out this price action. High volume, some of the highest volume we've seen in weeks, and some rejection. So, one can lean towards the downside possibly, for a correction into this yearly point of control, but it did come into this level. Now we'll be able to see that on the daily. So on the higher time frame, we know the dollar's extremely bullish. That hasn't changed in a long time. Long time. But whenever a market does make an extended move out, you can expect, that's not the right word, but you should expect a correction. And that's, I think, what we're starting to get now. And here's the monthly profiles now. So each one of these are just a monthly, and you can see this wide open monthly point of control way down here. And this was, we'll mark that off. Here's a monthly point of control down here. So that was a yearly one over there. And we're going to go into here and we're going to make this a monthly, and then we'll make this a yearly. And now we have these levels marked off where we think price is going to come back into, basically. And this is technically another level up here, and we can delete this now. This is technically another monthly level that we should possibly expect a reaction at. So I want to mark it off just because if price does come up there, I'm going to be looking for maybe a short. Okay. So now we're going to go into the 4-hour time frame. I like to go top down, really just to see what the market's really doing on a higher time frame. It didn't quite get into my zone here, but this is an interesting spot that I'm looking at. And it also, the reason why it's interesting is because this monthly point of control, if I move this just slightly down, it's also last week's. So now we're into weekly profile. So each time frame I go down a profile just to get more data into it, more volume profile into it. So this price is very important right here. It's a monthly POC and a weekly POC. So this price is actually going to be something that we're going to look at on the lower time frames throughout the week to really try to take advantage. If it comes up into here, not only is it, the middle of this overall channel, it is most likely a fib. It is a area of inefficiency, or just a gap fill. It's a whole bunch of good stuff. So I'm really interested in this price right here this week. And that's on the futures, it's 109.72. And there is a lot of volume right here right now. And we did come in and tap this open weekly point of control. It came in and hit that and had a nice bullish reaction. So I would highly expect the market to get up here. And when it does, I want to see a bearish reaction. And that's exactly what I'm going to be playing this week. I do like the way this structure broke here. It did create a little ugly, ugly head and shoulders, but it broke some structure, and I can deal with being wrong on this whole thing. If this kind of just comes up here, maybe fails to break lower. So fails to break lower. So it would go like this maybe, and then ultimately just shoot and continue this uptrend. That could happen, right? That can happen. If CPI is bad, this is going to go up. If CPI is good, this is going to do what we want it to and go down. So that's how I'm going to be looking at the dollar this week. In fact, let me just draw this back on here. I want it to come up, and then I want it to make this move down. And ultimately, if it gets down into this yearly POC and this monthly POC, look, we got more open volume right here. So I'm just going to add to the what's it called, to the freaking formula here. If it gets down here, that's just more confluence, right? So we got weekly, open weekly that hasn't been touched, open yearly, open monthly. And then all the way down here, there's more weekly, but we're not going to mark that off yet. Strong zone right at the fib levels that we like to use. So I'm really looking forward to the dollar coming into here and then probably making another move to the upside, right? So it broke out of the falling wedge. We don't need that anymore. Seeing the structure break, it looks clean. I am going to just look at the 1 hour really quick to see, and there is daily volume right here. So let's just mark that off. And when price gets into this area to the right, and I should probably hide this, might be confusing some people. When price gets into this area, 109.67, that's a short for us all day long. Yep. So there is just a little bit of volume still sitting up here. It would really suck if it had to do this first, but hey, that is sometimes, you know, that happens. I am just going to mark it off so I can keep it on keep an eye on it, I guess. But really, this is, you know, what I'm looking at. The only thing that would make me disagree with this bias, and maybe this is what like a smart money trader or whatever is seeing. Okay, they're seeing this, they're seeing this down candle and this up move. So they would maybe look at this area here as a buying area. And I really didn't draw that probably how they would, but something like this. And price still hasn't gotten into that area yet. So it's not ready yet. It has actually created these kind of equal lows in a way. So I'd really love to see this happen. If it starts to go lower without retracing first, it will most likely create a bullish divergence scenario where we would see momentum make a higher low and this make a lower low. So we'll watch for that. But if you go down to even one lower time frame, there might even be a possibility to catch this kind of retracement. But let's go into everything else. So what does this mean? The reason why I go so deep into the dollar is simple, because in Forex, the dollar is king. And whenever I can analyze the dollar and I can get any type of bias, it doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong, because ultimately we don't know what the market is going to do. But ultimately, if you can get a bias, in another way of saying it, if you can get good cards, right? In a sense, this isn't gambling, but it's probabilistic gambling in a sense. So if you can get good cards, you should play them. If you don't know your system, obviously, then this game isn't as good as you think it is. But like, if you have a system and you get something to play, you need to play it every single time you see it. So that's what we're doing here. We're seeing a break of structure, a clear break of structure, with volume lining up with the areas that we want to sell from. So it looks like almost a picture perfect setup. All right, let's go into the other pairs. If we are bearish or slightly bullish, then bearish on the dollar, if the DXY is, we're looking at this type of move for the dollar, everything else. So I'm just going to, what is everything else? I'm just going to do an infinity sign. I don't know why. Everything else is going to do the opposite. It should go down a little bit and then up. So that's what we're looking for pretty much everything else in the market to do. All right. So let's go check and see if it is going to do that for us. And I'm going to delete the divergence down low because I don't want that to happen. I just wanted to do, what basically this. All right. So let's go look at everything else, which would start with the euro. And this is interesting. So we have the lower low and the higher high. So I like that convergence. It didn't quite get into the area that I wanted last week. Little upsetting, but I know some of my team members caught it, which is awesome. What's so awesome about our platform and our team is that we don't, of course, we send out our trade ideas, but we have helped our team be able to optimize their own strategies. And we give them the reality of like, hey, everyone has different entries, different exits, because everyone's a little different. And so it's really cool in our Telegram chat that we'll throw out an idea and other people are able to capitalize off it, even if it's a different entry or a different setup, because we all kind of see the market the same, but everyone has their own different way of entering and exiting, which because we're all different, right? So this was one of those trades where I believe Justin even called it, one of our newer members called it a perfect move. Great job. Now we're starting to get a little divergence in here. So let's go look at the higher time frames first real quick, and then see what's cracking. So on the weekly, it looks like we're getting a nice volume spike, or at least a continual rise in volume, as we're getting maybe a reversal pattern. So I like the odds of the euro eventually reversing. I don't know when, I don't know where. I mean, maybe I do know where, but I don't know when, to be honest. The long-term reversals are not something that I specialize in, because I haven't been around. I've only been around for almost 5 years. And these type of reversals only happen every 5 to 10 years. So whenever I started trading the euro, I believe it was right here. So I've been through maybe 1, 2, 3 major reversals, I guess. And they can take up to, let's see how long this one took. People thought I was going to reverse right here, and then it formed major divergence. So it took from 2017 to 2018, almost a full year. I guess this was a reversal here, but it's more of a breakout reversal. This would be more of the reversal style, and it took from 2020 all the way to 2021, right? So it could take a full year down in this area, guys, for this thing to actually reverse. And that's something we got to understand. 9 times out of 10, it's going to, I don't know if it's 9 out of 10, maybe 8 though, which is still highly probable. It's going to create a form of divergence as it on this weekly time frame before it actually really reverses. So there's going to be legitimate, why did that disappear? So we're going to do this, and we're not going to do that this time. So here's another form of it. Okay. And right now we're in somewhat of this type of divergence, but the difference is in between these divergences, right? There's an actual wave, almost technically, but you can just see if this one is an exception, I would say, but this still, you see the major wave inside of it. This one, it didn't get all the way back to this 0. So this one's less of divergent, which means, and like the time, that's another thing. The timing in between is a full year. This isn't yet a year. Here's the reversal zone. It needs to do this and create this full-on divergence, if we're being honest. But guys, that's a big macro perspective. Let's go look at it more on the lower timeframes, right? So this is the yearly point of control, which is way far away. There's not really any reason to mark that off. Price isn't going to get there for freaking a year or two. So let's go down to the daily and see what's going on in the daily. Let's go ahead and delete these moves right here. And on the daily, there is this divergence that we've been talking about in this zone. So market made this lower low, but momentum didn't. So we're looking at this to come back to the 50 EMA. So let's drop that on there. And that's how I know when divergence is finished. Another way I know how divergence is finished is because this guy right here is already pumping to the upside. So we most likely are going to see a 50 EMA rolling around here, I think. Very close. So it hasn't quite hit that 50 EMA just yet. So there might be a little bit more upside on the euro. But once it does kind of balance itself out, which in my opinion, you don't want to look at the divergence anymore for your confirmation, because it's already balanced on the divergence. But If it does make another move down at this point, that is going to be a 3-wave divergent move. This would most likely occur, and that pattern on the daily is a complete reversal pattern, in my opinion, for this thing to get ready to correct at the bare minimum. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen. If the dollar goes bullish again, this is definitely coming down, but I think it's going to be kind of a fake move down, right? It's going to be a divergent move down. So I'm watching for that divergence if it occurs, but I think we might be seeing one more move back up here. So I'm going to keep this marked off because that's the 50 EMA. We don't need that because EMAs are legitimate lines in the sky. I use them for mean reversion only. Let's go to the 4-hour. If you're still trading with that EMA, you need to come in the next wave. And we'll tell you what's really good. Divergence fib. I guess this is a daily fib for the divergence. Let me confirm this. It would be from here to, let's go here. And there's nothing wrong with trading the EMAs, but I can almost guarantee you're not consistently profitable. So let me optimize your strategy. Boom. Okay, perfect. And then, okay, perfect. So if it comes down into here and there's still divergence on the daily, that's a strike, like a strike and a half. Here's something I'm seeing. The momentum here on the 4-hour is starting to show positive moves. Kind of the biggest momentum we've seen since back in here. And then, this produced another rally. So we might be seeing another rally up into this 50 EMA zone, which is oddly enough right into this POC. So let me make sure there's no point of controls. Okay, I need to mark these off right here. And I'll just mark this one. And this is not the daily, but the weekly. Let me make sure that's right. I thought I freaking marked them all, make it easier on myself. No, this monthly. And then I knew that other one was too far, so I don't need to mark that one off. Okay, it will go to the 4-hour. Mark this guy off. So we have this line here that if price gets back into this, we're pretty interested in that. And then if price gets back all the way down here, that's going to be a little, well, we don't like that really. I wish that wasn't there because this is going to be an opportunity. If price gets back into this, we're going to look for this to move up again. We can't not trade this momentum. Let's go to the 1-hour, make sure that it's not super diverged. Okay, so there is a little bit of divergence. It does offer a little bit of a risk. It does offer a little bit of a risk, right? But I'm still here for it. I bet this 50 EMA is coming up, and we're coming up. So technically the divergence is a-okay to play. I wish the volume on the move up and up was bigger than this correctional move. That's kind of weird, but hey, it's just the same thing. Like I said, it's some cards. I'm playing it. It looks good. It's this exact inverse of the dollar. So we're playing it monthly divergence or monthly POC lines up with the 61.8. Can't get any better than that. Here's a little imbalanced area right here. If price could get back into that, that'd be money. 15-minute probably has a little bearish setup right here to play down into here. Boom, take it up. Let's go. That's the cleanest setup we're going to see. If price gets all the way down to the weekly POC, I might take another shot, but these lows are probably going to get taken out if it gets all the way down here, because that would be like a pretty drastic move. Why wouldn't it? And then if it does get up into this, guys, there is a ton of volume. Let's drop this right here. There's 3 weeks worth, 1, 2, 3 of volume right here. If price gets into this with 3-wave divergence, that's gonna be the biggest short of the year, maybe for me. Just kidding. But I'm gonna play the mess out of that short, like you've never seen it before. In fact, 3-wave divergence and weekly POC to sell. All right. Now that's going against kind of what I think is going to happen overall, though, because overall, I do think the dollar is going to technically drop. So I would just rather see this happen, not this. And really, if it gets up here, I would just look for just a quick, it would just be high probability that we're about to turn around for a little bit at least. All right, let's go to the GBP. I love how this looks. So when I love how the dollar and the euro looks, which is like once or twice a week, I genuinely don't care about anything else. I'm gonna play these, and everything else kind of can sit in the back seat. We're gonna look at it. We're gonna look at it really fast. All right. All right, that was it, y'all. Thanks. No, I'm kidding. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, GBP. And just look what we got off the GBP. We could stay on the daily and admire the artwork, but we're not gonna. We're gonna go to the weekly. We'll delete this fib just so we can look. And on the weekly, what we're getting, basically, we're coming into this joint right here, and we're sweeping it out. And we swept it, and I don't know if we're coming back. I don't know, maybe, but at this point, I'm almost bullish on it. Well, for the opportunity, at least. So let's go into the daily, and you can really see how it's respecting this channel. It could be premature, but it just kind of looks picture perfect. So we're gonna play it like it is. I don't think the yearly is anywhere close. No, it's not. Okay, but what that means when the point of control isn't close at all, what we have noticed for long-term swings is that that's where the market is like drawn to. Is there anything below it? No, there's nothing below it. So this is almost where the market is long-term going to get drawn to, where the other high participant volume participants were, excuse me. Weekly, daily, and this is where we're going to be marking off some volume levels. And this is going to be the first level that we need to get hit. And this is a monthly point of control, sorry. And that was of August. The month that it really fell heavy, this is where, this is the price. And that's where we're going to be targeting for buys if we can find a bullish position. We are going to keep this. This is going to be that that low. I don't know what to call it, but that low. Why didn't it show up? Okay. Text top center. Let's put it on the right. No. Okay. What you doing? Top right. Okay. Whatever. It's not one of those lines. It's okay. We know that those lows got swept out. that is what it is. In fact, dang it, I need to mark it off. Let's go into the weekly real quick. Let me mark this off with this. And then let's make this like not that big. And then call it that. What is it? 2020 low. That's important though, because when we get down to the lower time frames, you'll see. And in fact, I'm this guy who uses this tool a lot, so it won't let me star it for some reason. That's okay. All right, now we'll go on to the daily. We'll see what's cracking. Okay. We could draw this fib. It's unnecessary. Let's go into the 1 4 hour. And this is where it gets a little interesting. If you're a pattern trader, you can already see it. But this right here is what is most likely gonna happen. Something like this. This is what we're gonna mark off. Very similar to every other thing we're gonna see. It's just gonna be which one gets there and which one doesn't. I didn't take off the magnet. All right. So this is a September monthly, weekly POC. That's pretty much what we're looking at. We're looking for price to come into this and then move up. That is another really seriously good move that we're going to be paying attention to. We can bring fibs out. We can do all that jazz. No point really. I want to see more volume here. Yes. Okay, so there's daily volume here. Daily. It's another smooth move. We need to see it. Price comes into here. We're looking for bulls. And if we get swept out, it is what it is. Let's go into the Aussie. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Let's go to the weekly. Possibility of it moving up right here. It's low, but it's there. Okay, it's there. It held here in this demand area, made a nice move. Nice rejection at the very bare minimum, at least. Let's see what that is in over here. Okay, imbalanced area. Look at this. Perfect. Came into this. Imbalanced. Fill, double fill. Let's go. I'm thinking this could have a possibility to go up. Is there any news on the Aussie? They have unemployment on Wednesday. And I think that's it. But I mean, if the dollar goes down, this is going up. So that's what it is. The yearly's too high. So let's look at see where the other volume is. Monthly volume, and here's some monthly volume that we can look at. So we can mark these two prices off. Monthly POC here, and then this is another monthly POC that we're going to have to look at. This is the current month. So these two prices are kind of going to be what we're playing inside of. Two zones, what have you. And I don't need this really. It is what it is. I don't need it. Let's go to the 4 hour and look at some weekly areas. All right, now we've got it refined down here. This was last week's, or I guess was it all of last week? Yep, last week's POC. And if price comes down into that, we got to look for buys. But ooh, the monthly point of control might hold it. We want to see, it's the same thing. If it continues up, we'll probably short it into these levels. If it comes down into here, I personally would like to see it come all the way down and scare a little bit of people and then move its way back up. But this type of momentum where it failed to make a new low here, failed to make this new low, and then broke up with nice momentum. I know the volume technically isn't what it should be, but I'm okay with that. I like the momentum. Sometimes I'm not sometimes, I'm a big momentum trader. I like the volume to confirm it for high probability. So what I'm seeing is maybe a medium probability setup right here with AU or the Aussie, whichever one you want to pair it against. But we did get like this break of structure, break of 50 EMA, break of, I like this trifecta right here. Sometimes I don't know what to call this. And it should be a strategy, but I'm not an IML, so I'm not going to create a strategy. Called the trifecta wave, but that should be like a bam bam right here and boom, bada bing, bada boom, bit bit bow. So AU, Aussie, whatever, I'm looking for the Aussie to probably do this. And if not, maybe this. But ultimately, I want to see this make another move up. If I'm calling a bottom, I might be a little early, to be honest. I really might. I might be early, and that's okay. We might see a whole complete like wave down and creates like a bigger divergence on the higher time frame and then a move up. I can't predict the future. I can just see what I'm seeing right now. And on lower time frames, it's starting to flip momentum. And if you're talking about flipping momentum, this is what it really looks like. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just remove all drawings on this guy because this one is kind of flipping the script right here, and we need to see what it looks like on higher time frames. First of all, I do want to look at this on the monthly because this one's interesting on the monthly. I do know what the other ones look like, but I just wanted to point out that this had 1, 2, 3 months of this ridiculously crazy price action on a monthly time frame. And then the next month after it was like psych, but now we're already almost taking away that full monthly candle already, a third of the way through the month. That's just interesting to see. I don't really want to play off of that, but this is another interesting thing to see. We're right on the yearly point of control. Yearly point of control. The new year, that doesn't happen often. What that means most likely is that last week was a big week. And in fact, what I need to do, and I shouldn't have deleted everything. Now what I have to do is go back a little bit and see where this point of control was and how it's been moving. Okay, it used to be way up here. So what that means, and here's a little lesson on this point of control, I just have to see what is really going down. Point of control is the highest traded volume price. And basically it's where the most participants were of whatever volume profile this is. This is a yearly one. So this is saying that basically the sellers, right, because the ultimate result was bears. There was a whole bunch of bears and this was the best. This was the price they got. Okay, as it moved on, that doesn't change. That didn't change. That didn't change. That didn't change. Nothing's changing. Okay, we're waiting for this POC to change basically. Most of the time it gets hit and then it changes. But every now and again, which is what is happening now, I'm trying to figure out when did it move. Excuse my dog. He's trying to learn how to trade. And so he's like, okay, so it just recently moved. He's trying to tell me the point of control. If y'all can't hear him, hold on. I'm gonna mark off the point of control. Okay. So I need to see that one more time. It moved on the bull candle. Okay. Okay, it moved on. Go ahead and configure. I thought it had moved. Oh, this is a waste of time. Okay. Is it just now moving? Okay, it just now moved, I guess, whatever. But that means this is important price action right now. We're getting some important price action coming in. I'm interested in this price here as well. So this is a monthly price. And then this is also a monthly price. TradingView just did me so dirty right there. I don't know what that was all about. But these two prices right here is what we're going to be, three prices. Really, this one is just telling me that things could get crazy, kind of. I mean, look what happens right here. Like bulls step in like wild people, and then it just reverses. But then bulls step in again like wild. Like this price, something's up with this price. We could see a full-blown reversal right here, but regardless, we're going to be looking for that if it does that. We're going to go on to the 4-hour now, look for this weekly, and that is not where I like to see weekly point of controls. That is way too low. We're definitely going to be expecting the monthly point of control to hold. But if it gets down all the way here, I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to expect some type of reaction to happen right here and put my stop here and just hope at that point. But still, I'm looking for something like this. That is honestly still a long shot because of how far away it is. Here's some weekly. There's most likely going to be some type of divergence that sets in to bring this down. I mean, it's still going up, up, up. So when it does make this move into this area, I think I might look for this short. That might be the riskiest play ever, but it looks good. There's too much volume up here that hasn't been tapped for it almost not to drop right there, in my opinion, or react right there at least. If you don't get the reaction you want, well, then get out the trade. There's untapped volume up here as well, but that's a little higher than I would like to play at. Daily POC, way up there. If I needed confluence more than already, I would drop a fib and I would look at that and I would say, oh, we're getting close to the good fibs. I don't need all that. I can use a divergence fib though right here. Yeah, okay. So I love all this. Okay. This price on the Swiss is going to be a price that I'm just going to almost expect this to start to die off at and start to correct down into, at the bare minimum here, is daily POC at the very bare minimum. The thicker the line, I don't want to say anything weird, but I'm looking for those thick lines. You feel me? All right. JPY, we're looking in that JPY now, tab. All right, JPY has been on a tear. So if you're looking to buy the JPY, you're probably doing okay. If you're looking to sell it, you probably keep getting wrecked over and over and over again. That might be because you keep coming on my analysis and I keep telling you this is going to turn around eventually. It hasn't yet. It hasn't yet. It hasn't turned around yet, and that's okay. But I have also said like it's going to probably take forever to turn around. So you played yourself. Just kidding. Let's go to the weekly and just see where this is way far away. And we're getting this increase in volume right here, which is, to me, it's buyers. They're flushing, they are selling to buy. That's in the weirdest way to explain. They're testing the market down, and then they're buying every selling candle that pops up. And to me, it's obvious, but this is very interesting how there's this point of control, and this is the monthly point of control, just chilling right here. And then this is another monthly point of control, chilling up there. And those are going to be the two prices that I'm playing in between. I might be looking for the yen to pop this week with this type of price action. I know it does have this wick. That's unfortunate, but the volume is matching this bear volume, the reversal pattern. You know, if it comes back down a little, I'm looking for a move up, and a swing trader would look for it all the way up here. and they would expect this to more or less be like a three-wave divergent move. And this is kind of like a possible spring where we're going to see something like this. And then ultimately, move out of this piece of crap. But let's go to the 4-hour and see if there's any more volume that's in our way. Yep. Okay. So this would be tagged first, and this would be like a weekly. And there is more weekly. There's a weekly here. So that's good too. That's just more confluence. If price comes back into that, we got to strike. And this is kind of telling me like, dang, if the dollar just keeps going up, or not just keeps going up because it went down last week, but if the dollar just goes up, all these things are going to get into these areas. It's going to be freaking just, I'm not going to know really which one to play. It'll just be which one has the most divergence at that point. Because if they're all in these areas, I really won't know which one to play. On the daily, there is, I can't even tell. No, that already got mitigated. So this isn't, daily's not helping, but it was 2 days worth right here and right here that had volume. So that's dope, but it's already been mitigated. And then this would be the impulse fib coming down into that. I will have to say, I don't like trying to catch tops and bottoms, but whenever a market is, obviously trending down like the yen, and then it fails to trend down anymore, maybe even multiple fails, and then it makes an impulsive move, that is the point where I'm just like, you know what kind of picture am I, what does this look like? This is exactly what I would teach someone if I'm looking for a trend reversal. So I got to play that. And so that's what I'm going to play for the yen. If I'm wrong, this is going to make another lower low. And that is mind blowing to me. It really is, because it really needs to come all the way back here and correct all the way back to these old all-time highs after it broke through and barely even, that this thing is extended away big time. I will say, no, yeah, this is the play. This looks too good. You can't not try to play the momentum. Okay, let's get into some other stuff like gold. And gold, we're here. Everyone in the world sees it. It's the zone of the year. And I have realized the futures price and the spot price that we all trade on our MT4 brokers or whatever is a lot different. So bear with me. The price action though, same thing. Okay, so this zone here that I have marked off, important zone, it's held. So far, I think I'm just going to go with it's going to hold. And then once it breaks, this is where I'm looking for it to go to. And that's not usually how I roll. I usually am like, it's going to break. And in past analyses, I have said, this isn't going to hold. But you know what? There's no point of like guessing that the market is just going to break through this. When it does, because it will, then this is where we're going to kind of target. But until then, it's not ready yet, in my opinion. And then here's another yearly area. It's not really close enough to mark off, so we're not going to mark it off. But it's interesting how we've had 2 major reactions off of this price. Really 3 if you want to just count the fake out, and then the next 2 weeks it just boom. So that's an interesting price right there. Like these pivots, if you want to just go mark that off on your chart. Or this is a better price to mark off, because I'm definitely looking at this price right here in this area as a monthly point of control that has not been hit yet. So if price gets into that, we're probably going to get a reaction just like what we got right here when there was this open monthly point of control. Price definitely reacted off of this. And on lower time frames is really how you take advantage of these moves. You see if there's high probability setups on lower time frames inside of these moves. Obviously, that's not a big move on the daily, but on a lower time frame, it was. And you can go see one of our student Cole's YouTube channel. We caught a 1 to 20, 1 to 30 trade on his live. And it was basically based off of this type of not exactly this, but it was just a high probability area straight up. Okay, so there's nothing really to mark off from the dailies. Go to the 4 hour. No, nothing. This is like what a lot of people are looking at right here, down, up, and it came into that, tapped that, and made a move, came back in, tapped another one, and then made another move up. I think this is going to start to trend to the upside a little bit. It's failing to break lows, and it has this upside liquidity. Maybe we're going to get a spike and then spike down. That's the only way I'll be bearish. The only way I'm bearish gold is if we get this whole pattern here. And I'm going to start calling it like the anarchy pattern or something, I think, because like if I do this, maybe that looks like, I don't know. I just saw that for the first time. But that's the only way I'm going to be bearish on gold. Here's another area up here, like a weekly area. So that's where I think the market's going to draw to, or is trying to draw to at least. So I'll be looking for something like this, because there's not really a reason to be bearish unless you're just like the market is going down. It's holding at demand areas. It made a possible rejection pattern on a weekly time frame. On the daily time frame, yeah, it hasn't really given you a bunch of reasons to look for bulls, so that might be a reason not to buy. But on the 4 hour, it also hasn't made a new low since September 1st, all month. So we'll see. I don't see any bearish structure just yet. Until I see bearish structure, I'll be bullish, but there's not really an area to buy from. I don't like this. I don't like this area for buys, I don't think, unless it creates some heavy divergence right in this somehow, then maybe. But right now, I think I'm going to head off gold because the Forex looks a lot better. I'm seeing this right here really too. So if it kind of wants to bust out and create good volume, maybe break through this, because right now it almost has 3-wave divergence. If it does this and has 3-wave divergence, that might be an ultimate, like, get ready for this pattern. But if it does this and it breaks out of this momentum, gives like a move like this, then I would expect something like that to happen, regardless of what happens really. If it continues or not, I wouldn't care. I would just be playing this next little probabilistic move right there, right? So we got to watch and see how gold breaks. We got to watch the volume. We got to watch the momentum. We got to watch TV and Netflix. We got to do everything. Okay. Silver confirmation is, and that's the only thing I look at it for, confirming. Yes, I like this. The bullish divergence here, it came into the 702 fib right off the 61.8, basically moving up. It is looking like it wants to come up all the way into JAR. So I would like to see that. 4 hour hasn't made a low since September 1st as well. They do look a little corrective, especially, I mean, no, this looks a little less corrective than gold. This looks a lot more bullish, actually. So yeah, if this comes down, this looks even better. So let's go ahead and mark this John off. Just real smooth like this. And then that's up there for that. That's where we want it to go to. I just think if it can do this, that's going to give a good confirmation for gold to do this. Ooh, actually, you know what? Hold on. down and up. I don't know. Hold on. We'll just have to see. When gold or when silver gets down into this area, I want to see what gold has done. And because I think this is coming on silver. It could be a perfect ABC into this supply, and we could see this drop right here. So I could be setting myself up for big failure. Could eat my words a little bit later this week, but we'll see. I'm not a big fan of those. Like I said, I like the way the Forex pairs look. I think they look great. Or the Forex currencies. Depends on what pair you're looking at, I guess. Right? We're getting a rejection on oil at the 702 in demand areas. Is oil about to go up again? I'm not fully aware on the fundamentals with oil right now, as I really don't give a shit. But I do think this thing has a chance to go up. Let's talk about it. The weekly stole off on them boys and then moved up. Let's go to the daily. Daily has had some type of momentum, just kind of flat or divergence, really. Okay. Okay, we got some oil traders in here. Very good. Diverged big time on the daily, the whole time down. Momentum failed to make new lows. And then we're getting this like reversal pattern here. So it's possible. I would really need it to like, I'll look at the 4 hour for structure, but you know, I don't trade it very often. I analyze it, and because it kind of moves markets, has influence in other markets. I see it's coming right into this weekly or monthly point of control, and then there's another monthly up here, and then another monthly up here. So there's like volume to the upside that it should get to, but then there's still this at 71. There is still chilling. So that could be a target that it might get to. You're short to 82. Beautiful. 94. Yeah, I love that because 94 is right here with this volume, exactly right here. And then let's go to the 4 hour, and you're short to down here. And I mean, just look, dude, on the 4 hour, it was a fib that we had drawn, but the volume of the weekly last week, wow, and it looks like it could drop. This is what it did the week before. Once it hit it, it sunk. So it's hit, it could sink. I would hold that sell, but also hopefully you're in like up here. I think the buys could come in right here at this price where there's been 2 days worth. It's already been mitigated, but still, I think buys could come in around that area, which is 83. So yeah, that's clean, bro. That's clean right there. Let's go to the VIX. Now the VIX is playing games. Eventually, when this thing gets above this high, it's going all the way up here. If and when that happens, indices are dead. Bye-bye, gone. If this thing continues down, I'm just going to pretty much expect a reaction at a fib. And that's all I can expect. So I'm going to be expecting the VIX to pop in this zone, basically. And yeah, I see the gap. Yeah. I want to see it pop in this zone all the way up into these levels, which would make sense. It would make plenty sense. And then at that point, I don't know if we're going to get a breakout of the VIX or not. It depends on how the economic data is looking and how everything's looking. But yeah, if we can get a pullback, a little bit more downside on the VIX, and then a move up, that's what I'm looking for. So what does that mean? An upside in the indices, and then a downside move. So let's look at the upside in the indices, and boom, these dudes these joints off of this. I mean, I want to delete all this real quick, but I'm not gonna. So I gotta just go a little slow and delete some stuff. Let's talk about this. This thing is swinging like a freaking sixth grader in freaking Central Park, New York. Okay. The swing to swing happened, right? Big impulse. You can find your swings inside that retracement, and it smacks the 702 basically. Okay, and it makes an impulse down. Okay, that all happens. That's great. Then we get another swing from swing low to swing high. And really we have a swing inside a swing. We're breaking it down a little bit right here. And we get a reaction off of the 702. If we wanted to, we could have brought it down right here and we still get the 1618 reaction, right? But as really, it's just the market is swinging pretty heavy right now, in my opinion. And I think we're going to get a little bit more upside to this. I'm not calling no reversal yet, right? This looks like it's going to continue to go up. But what I do notice is this. The volume was low on this big day. And that, I'm pretty good at reading volume divergence. And that, my friends, is big time volume divergence. So yes, I do think this is going to continue up because it's bullish price action, but I think we're getting ready to turn around maybe. And there's heavy supply here. So let's watch and see what happens this week right here. It's important. The CPI is important. Like I said, this is important price. So let's mark off that. And that is a weekly POC. If I'm not correct, I'm not in my, it's monthly. And that's an even more important price. And that's the only price we care about this week, really. Okay. Look what happened last time it came into a monthly point of control that hadn't been touched. Okay. We had a couple days and then we moved out of it. We come into this, we have a couple days and we move out of it. That's what I'm expecting. Let's see if the other ones line up in a second. Hold on, 4 hour. Let's see if we can drill into some more. Yes. Okay. We have weekly point of control right here. Same area, weekly. So that just building the case for this guy right here. Building the case for this 4133 price. We could throw fib on it if we want to. And, you know, we got a long ways to go, but it looks pretty if it can get up here still. I think the 1 hour has divergence. Whoa. I think the 1 hour has divergence and it does. So if it can create 3-wave divergence and get up there, that's an ultimate, that's a big time move. Just a huge area of imbalance there. I'm a fan. Yep, take care, man. Okay, let's go to, and you know, there is these areas, I would say for bulls, maybe down here, but I'm gonna personally, I don't really, I'll just mark it off like that. Okay, let's go look at the other ones to see if they look the same. And they do, you know, they look the exact same. I want to look at their volume on the daily because that's what, yeah, no way. That is, you don't, when's the last time we saw that low volume period? Was Friday what was Friday? Was it a holiday? Jesus. When's the last time it even did that? That's ridiculous. Yeah. So this is just I'm going to call its bluff, basically what that means. Go ahead. You think you're going to go up anymore? I don't, because I don't think anyone's coming with you. Right? No participants. Where were the participants? Here, here, and here. Oh, they were going down and now you're going up and you don't have any participants. Nah, this is some fake bullshit, yo. The Fed is going to drop the market. That's all I know. So if you want to sell it, if you want to continue buying it, you're going to get caught. Let's just be honest. You're going to get caught. in some bad shit. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna get caught. Straight up. I don't even need to look at all these charts anymore. The analysis should just be over. The Fed is gonna, these are setting up big time for drops. I'm going to talk shit whenever it drops. Now, the thing about it is, I'm gonna be honest, because I like to just talk shit regardless, but look, that move is highly probable as well. And in fact, if it comes down all the way here first, well, then this can go fuck off, honestly. It might really could just go fuck off. But if this gets hit first, well, then we are calling the shots around here, family, and we're looking for big sells. Let's see if ugly US 30 that I don't really care about. Let me remove drawings. I mean, it looks the same. It has the same area way up here. If it comes down here first, sells, but let's see if that daily low volume, and yeah, perfect. This actually has an inverted head and shoulders, and it's going to fail so hard because no one knows how to read volume. That's just hilarious. Let's see if the Jesus, these bonds haven't stopped. So as long as these keep going up, guys, the Fed is going to tighten their policies. Just, I can almost guarantee that the Fed is going to continue tightening their policies if these guys go up. Because what's going to happen, these go up, mortgage rates are gonna go way up. Mortgage rates go up, people stop buying houses. People stop buying houses, the housing market goes down, the housing market goes down, stock market goes down, stock market goes down, feds are raising rates. It's just all the same cycle. It's like everything is connected in a way, and it's all just pointing to Fed is going to continue to drop the market maybe one more time. The reason I say maybe one more time is because this John is getting diverged. Okay, this is getting diverged, and this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a move up to 4%. I don't even know what that line is. I'm seeing a move up to 4% and then a drop. And to be specific, up to 3.9% and then a drop. Or correction, right? And the correction could change the course of things throughout the year, and then we could see an actual reversal. But if price gets all the way up here on the 2-year, I'm looking for a drop. So it would need to move up, and this is where I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. It would need to move up 9.5%. All right, now the 2-year, or I mean the 10-year, which is, I look at those two basically the most. I was expecting it to come back down. If it comes back down here long term, it's a buy, but we're not really too concerned with that. We're concerned with what we're looking at right here. And if this starts to fall in this zone, that would be pretty bearish and maybe bullish for the indices, but I don't know if it's going to fall right here. I think it might move up, and if it does move up about 9%, that wouldn't be too bad, actually. It would be just a little bit higher than this high, create the divergence, steal off on them boys, create somewhat of a UTAD or just a spring type move, and then come down. This is a really nice distribution. So we'll come back and look at this and be like, oh, perfect Wyckoff. No, we'll look at it right now and say it. But we'll see what happens. I think there's definitely a possibility for the bonds to go higher. The price action on the weekly is really nice. Let's go here. Really, whoa, that's Bitcoin's. That was beautiful. Let's just go to that. Let's go to Bitcoin. Let's talk about Bitcoin right now. First of all, the yearly point of control moved to the downside, which is humongous. It wasn't up there, it was up here. So this is big right there. There's still this one down at 10K that if price gets down there, I'm expecting this to react hard off of this 10K like it did kind of right here. I would expect this move to be just violently holding at 10K. But right now we're kind of holding this 20K level, 19, 18, 5 level. And with this type of price action on the weekly, I mean, there's not really anything else to say except we might go up. I don't know if we're going to go down just yet. Just yet. Let's go to maybe the daily volume. And unlike the indices, this made amazing volume. So I'm more inclined to look for this move on Bitcoin than I am to look for buys on the others. But this is kind of just setting up for, you know, a big liquidity flush out. It really is setting up for that. And that sucks for people because obviously we don't trade full margin anything. We're 1%, 2%, 5% fucking maximum. If I'm trading 5%, I literally feel like I'm full margin trading. But because there's no point. I can make money doing so many other things in this. I'm an entrepreneur. Why would I risk my money doing this? I can do it. I can do so many things. Hang gutter. I can flip money doing gutter. I can flip money doing Christmas lights. Okay. I could flip money going to the casino, and that's not everyone's deal. But hey, I can flip money doing something on the street. We don't need to talk about that, right? There's so many things you can make money doing. You can go freaking garage sales and make freaking more money. You probably can't trade Forex. But I'm looking for this move right here on Biddy. It's pretty simple. If it happens, we're playing it. And if we lose, it's going to make a freaking huge flush to the downside, most likely. So be cautious of that. This is the monthly point of control here. And then this would be the target. I'm not targeting the 100K or nothing like that. Targeting 23K, 23.5. Next, reasonable price. And this looks, I mean, it can't look any better than this. We got more volume coming in on some weekly. There we go. So this is good right here. I believe this was a monthly. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, and we could throw fibs on there. We could do all that jazz. And it's good price. I ultimately would want that 78.6 no cap, but the 1 hour will kind of show you maybe some volume right here. No. Oh, there's a little bit down there. That's a little sketchy. But ultimately, it's the Wyckoff right here for me. It's the steal off, the test, and then the move out. So the next move down is you got to look for buys. Pretty easy on that one. Let's go to the Ethereum. And Ethereum's looking weird. You know, it's weird. The merge and all this stuff, kind of weird. It's usually more bullish looking. It's definitely not right now on the lower time frame. Now on the daily or even the weekly, I want to see what it looks like on the weekly. Yeah, on the weekly, it looks very nice, actually. The point of control for the years down here at 11, and I'm going to mark this off. I should have marked the Bitcoins off too, but it's okay. This one, I'm more worried about Ethereum. Yearly point of control on Ethereum is sitting at like 11.7, 11-ish, 11.7, 11.77. And I'm still hoping price gets down there. Oh, it might not. Let's go to the daily. Only thing I see on this is it going to stop right here first? Because this looks like it could not come into this. It really did like a complex correction. And I mean, if it wants to, there ain't nothing stopping it. Like, I would love one more move down and then it do its bullshit, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. 1 hour. If Bitcoin's very bullish, you can't. Okay, if you're going to be bullish on Bitcoin and expect like a move like this on Bitcoin, so you got to expect on everything else. And really, on Bitcoin, Bitcoin made such a move out compared. We're just going to go very bottom to top. So it made a 16, let's call it 17% move. Okay. We have Ethereum that has been outperforming it hand over fist on everything. Oh, it still did, didn't it? Okay. So 18% right here. That is funny. I'll show you the point I'm trying to make. So it still outperformed it, but then this is what I'm looking at, basically this wave. So let's measure that wave right here from very low to bottom, and we get a 13.5. So basically this whole move was almost this wave. 13.5 on Ethereum. We have from low to high 10%. So what I'm getting at is when this corrects about 9%, this is going to correct most of the time. When Bitcoin corrects, when Bitcoin makes a move, the altcoins make a bigger move in the opposite direction, or not in the opposite direction. Like if Bitcoin makes a 10% move, some of the altcoins will make a 20% move. So it wouldn't shock me if this came all the way down here, took out these lows first to then make the move up. What I'm trying to get at is I'm not playing Ethereum right here. I'm playing Ethereum down here. But really, Bitcoin looks more interesting. It really does. Bitcoin looks way more interesting. And before I'm done with the analysis, if anyone has anything else they want me to look at, any pairs specifically you want me to kind of do more cross analysis on your pairs, go ahead and throw it in the chat. But I'm pretty much done with the analysis. I'm going to look a little bit more into the crypto market just for a second. We got a big move in Ape. What's going on, Ape? Nice. Anyone who invested in that, you know, you do watch Logan Paul a lot, and that's okay, but just be careful on these type of projects. Okay, let's see. USDT dominance. So I've been rolling with this guy, and this dude's been making me some money. And if this is going to continue to make me money, I need to do this and then this. And once it comes into here, family, I've had this marked off for a minute for Bitcoin to go bullish, right? Or for this thing to go bullish right here. And if that's the case, or whatever may have you down here, I don't know what it's going to do. But if it does actually go bullish right there, we're going to see ridiculous things happen to Bitcoin. So we'll almost cuff Lizzie Fly right on camera. But that's what I'm expecting on this guy right here. It looks clean. You know, it failed this this falling wedge, this kind of flag pattern. I guess technically it hit it, but then it ultimately reversed it. So that tells me is when it comes back into this area, it should fail. You know, supply should kick in again, it should fail. So it looks perfect, almost picture perfect for the confluence with Biddy. I want to look at Biddy on Bitstamp or like a spot price, because it is a little different, and I do have these marked off already, so that's good. A little bit of different stuff, but that's okay. In fact, fuck all that. I don't need that. There's a ton of volume right here. I'm gonna just throw a weekly on right there. And just to confirm, I like to confirm because they are different. The price actions on the spot. I use the spot for the volume. It's better volume. But yeah, this is still looking so money for the bulls. They can come up here and do his thing right there. That's too pretty, actually. It's kind of making me think what the fuck is going on. All right. 1 hour real quick. Yeah, what's going on over here? We got 78.6 volume 2. Okay. Well, we're just gonna have to play what we get. If it continues to diverge, I'm gonna start to say bullshit, and we're gonna maybe play this down into this, because this type of imbalance should get filled. And that's like the same thing, kind of like what happened right here. It's like, oh no, the sky's falling. It's like, nah, it's not. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? Happens almost every time. Eventually this area it's gonna get balanced out. Golly, I don't know how a fly got in my house, but I'm about to kill it. Let's see, 22. See, in it, look what I'm talking about. So this area of imbalance is about to get filled with probably a quick move up, liquidating some people trying to get long, and then do some shit like this, tap in that imbalanced area, and then, you know, do some. If we get a pattern like this, we're going to short. We're going to be very short into this area. It's very, very easy plays this week. And if we're right, we're going to be super right. If we're wrong, we're going to be super wrong. It's very easy. Very, very easy. So no one dropped any pairs. So I appreciate y'all for coming on. Y'all have a good one. Take care. And let's make some money this week. Peace.